Hi, my name is Andrea Scarcelli. I'm a personal trainer with the Claremont Club. Today I'd like to go over some foam rolling for the upper body. I have two different types of foam rollers here, and the color is more about the density. So the white one is going to be a lower density, and the black one's going to be a higher density. So that means one's going to be a little softer, and one's going to be a little firmer. If you're new to foam rolling and you've never purchased one before, or you want to just give it a shot, and if you're still new to it, I would always start with a lighter one first, because you're going to find some really intense knots and it's going to be a little too much at times. Whereas if you're used to foam rolling, I highly recommend getting a higher density one. This is definitely my favorite. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm just going to slide this out of the way. Okay, so chances are we've been doing a lot of sitting at your computer. So even if you're sitting at your computer, we have the rounded spine. We tend to hunch over our computer, jutting the chin out, looking at the computer. Even if you've been getting out, maybe you've been doing some gardening. Gardening is still all that forward motion. So let's go ahead and do some foam rolling to help open up the chest, lengthen out the spine, and help manage the weight of the head so it doesn't come forward so much. I'm going to start with with your spine first. So you're going to first just sit on the floor, okay? Your foam roller is going to come, so go ahead and give me a little bend in the spine. Your foam roller is going to come the back part right there. So I don't want you to be on the lower spine right here. I want you to be on the base of the rib cage so that you have support. You're then going to squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up, bend your elbows and place them back behind your head, and then pull your elbows inward. Tucking your chin, you're going to roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time, slow and controlled. If you're lucky, you might get little adjustments here. And then once you reach a point, you're going to need to set your hips down, readjust your feet, keep your head lifted, keep your elbows in, and then once you're at the top part of the shoulder blade, then you can let your elbows open up and get a nice stretch in through here. You can roll yourself back just a little bit, again, enjoying that nice stretch throughout the chest. Anytime you're ready to pull yourself back up, you're going to pull your elbows in, tuck your chin to your chest, using your glutes and your abdomen, and you're going to push yourself back again to that starting point. Remember, don't go below the rib cage. There is no support there. Feel free to do this as many times as you like, rolling it up and rolling it down. Once you've completed that, I'm going to have you roll over onto your side. At any point, if you're like, I really want to spend some time on this, just pause me, come back to me, finish that, and then join me when you're ready. So now let's open up the side body. So I'm going to have you place your foam roller. So you're going to lift your hips up just a little bit, sit on the foam roller, just on the pelvis bone. You're going to then roll yourself all the way forward, and then all the way back, all the way forward, and all the way back. I want you to think about doing this at least 3 times in one spot. You can always do more. Or, for example, like right here, I have a little bit of a tightness right there. I'm going to just do a little bit of small movement right there on that one spot. As that starts to open up and feel a little better, take it back to your full range of motion. Then go ahead and let your hips come to the floor. Now the foam roller is touching the high part of my pelvis, but not quite my rib cage, so right there in the middle. And you're going to roll it all the way forward and roll it all the way back. Again, shoot for at least 3 times. You can always do more. When you're ready to move up, you're going to move up ½ an inch at a time, little by little. Again, rolling yourself forward and back at least 3 times. And then again, at any point, if you feel like, ooh, that's a little tender, stay there and give yourself just a little bit of rocking and really just breathe into that spot. One thing with foam rolling, we tend to hold our breath because something is a little intense. I always want you to focus on breathing. If something is like, ooh, really strong and you really feel that, just breathe through that. All right, I already moved mine up ½ an inch. And just take it forward and back. We are going to do this all the way to the shoulder joint, and then we're going to continue through to the elbow joint. So moving up 1/2 inch at a time. Again, if I'm going more quickly and you want to spend more time on one spot, please just pause me and come back. Good. 1/2 inch at a time. Back and forth. So now we're back. You're going to roll over the scapula. So you're going to roll all the way over on that scapula. And at any point, if your neck starts to feel a little tender or your head's getting heavy, you can always bend that elbow and you can continue. So now I can hold the weight of my head and that doesn't distract me from the work that I'm doing. And then finally, let's take it into the armpit. Now the armpit is important. Is if you have neck issues, if you're waking up in the morning and your shoulders and your neck is a little tender, you want to spend some time in the armpit. So really get in there. You're going to notice, especially when you roll forward, you're getting right there into the insertion of the pec. You'll probably find some knots here, so like I am, just give that a nice little rock forward and back. And then right in the center of the armpit, there's usually some tender spots. So when you find them, just roll back and forth on that tender spot and then bring that arm all the way back. Again, you can keep your head rested into your hand if you need that. Spend some time here. This is a really important spot. Once you're done with the armpit, we're going to go ahead and continue down to the elbow. So now you're going to go ahead and lengthen out that arm. You can rest your head right there on your shoulder and continue to roll side to side. So now we're in to the rear delt back here and into the tricep. And we're going to follow that tricep all the way down to the elbow. So rolling it down 1/2 inch at a time. Go ahead and let that head rest. So we're letting the head rest only for 2 reasons. It's more comfortable in the neck, and second of all, it's pressure, it's weight pushing down into that tricep. Okay, a minimum of 3 rocks. Roll it down 1/2 inch at a time. And we're going to take this all the way to the elbow. And you're going to get a lot of little chunky spots. Like right there, you can kind of see I'm going to roll over a chunky spot. That might be something you'll want to rock on a little bit more, making sure that you really push that through. And by all means, whenever you find something that's a little tender, just spend a little bit more time on it. Just roll back and forth on that, taking it all the way to the elbow. Very nice. So that's the side body. Now, of course, you want to do that on both sides, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the deltoid. So we're going to place the foam roller right here at that bone. So you're going to start right up on the top, okay? You're going to just have this hand, you let it rest on the floor. Use this hand, you can either place it on your foam roller or you can put your hand on the floor, whatever is more comfortable for you. And you're going to roll yourself all the way forward and all the way back. Now this will definitely feel tender, especially if you've been waking up in the morning with your shoulders being a little sore, or your right side might be a little tender because you've been using the mouse a lot or gardening more. So again, 1/2 inch at a time, rolling it down towards the middle part and back and forth. Again, at least 3 rocks. Can always do more. And then again, we're going to take this all the way to the elbow, moving 1/2 inch at a time. Very nice. And then your last one, you want to go right above the elbow joint, taking it forward and taking it back. Very nice. Okay, So we can also do into the bicep, so we can start into the armpit of the pec and then move through the bicep. So here we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna angle myself a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna take the foam roller and I'm gonna place it right into my armpit. So if my armpit's here, I'm actually gonna go a little bit farther in. I'm gonna take my thumb, point it down. Now I'm gonna rotate my palm, so now the palm is up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna rotate that back and really get in to the head right there of the bicep. So rolling it again at least 3 times. You can always do more. And then you're rolling it out about 1/2 inch at a time and continue to focus on the rotation of that palm. I might be doing a 2 instead of 3, but I want to make sure I teach you more. So again, anytime you feel like a little tender spot, just give it a little bit more attention. Again, taking it all the way through to the elbow. You can always make a pillow for your head and simply rest your head. Very nice. That can at least help you open up into some of the areas that are feeling a little tight. So next I want to take it into a vertical position. So we're going to make your foam roller vertical. You're going to sit on the very edge and you're going to lie back. So tail to head. Okay, so I want the nape of the neck to be on the foam roller, but I also want you to know you've got a lot of space, right? Your whole spine can be on here. All right, so now in this position, you're going to instantly notice the foam roller is wiggling and wobbling. So that's going to help you engage your core. The more you engage your core, the more that foam roller is quiet. All right, so you can still keep your legs relaxed, but just thinking about that abdomen. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look face up. I'm not going to look directly at you. I want your thumbs to be pointing down. So with my thumb pointing down over my head, keeping my elbows straight, I'm going to keep the thumb pointing down and I'm going to swing around, and that's going to feel really nice in several different ways. You might feel how your shoulder blades are rubbing against the foam roller, and that feels good. You might feel that your chest is opening up. You might feel that stretch all the way down into the palm of the hand. So let's do this a couple more times. So you're looking directly up to the ceiling. Your thumb is down, facing towards the floor. Keeping your elbows straight from the shoulder blades. Pull your arms around. Thumb stay pointing down to the floor until you get to the hip. And then bring those arms back up. Thumb pointing down. And rotate. And at any point, you might run over some really clunky spots in the spine, right around the shoulder blades. When you find one of those, I want you to stay here. Keep your thumb pointing down and flap your arms to really get into that spot. And then go ahead and lower it down. Again, wherever you feel these, keep that thumb as pointing down as much as you can. And then just move those arms up and down all the way till you get to your hip. Reverse that thumb so it's back up, bringing it down and around. So you can flap if you need to, or just keep that circle. So I want you to do at least 5 in this position. You could always do more. Once you've completed your 5, I want you to bring your arms back up to the top. Keep your thumb in the same position. Now you're going to bring your arm down to the hip. Rotate your thumb back behind you so it's down towards the floor again. And then squeeze the shoulder blades and pull your arms back up. I don't want you to think about just yanking your arms up from the shoulder joint. I want you to squeeze from the shoulder blades, pull yourself back up to the top. All right, again, bring your palms down towards your hips, rotating that thumb back, keeping that thumb down. And you might notice that one direction is a little bit more intense than the other side, in the other direction. And that is totally cool. That's why we go into both directions. So keep thinking, and then again, anytime you find a spot, I want you to flap and just move up and down. Good, let's go one more in this direction. Thumb down. And then bringing it back to the top. All right, so now we're gonna make like a feel-good pose. So you're gonna bend your elbows. So I'm at a nice 90-degree angle in my elbow joint. I'm gonna keep my head facing up. Now I'm gonna take my fingertips and I'm just gonna rotate them down from the shoulder joint. Don't change the angle of your elbow, don't pull in, don't lift up, just relax, just hold it here and bring your fingertips down towards the floor. Internal rotation on the shoulder joint, bringing it right back into that neutral position, and then bringing it back over your head, keeping that nice 90-degree angle. Now I just want you to stay here for a moment. Take a really nice deep inhale, really expanding your rib cage. Bringing yourself back up to that neutral position and repeat. Palm facing down. One side might be looser than the other, perfectly fine. Return back to center and take those palms back behind you. Again, nice deep breaths. You should feel great stretch throughout your chest and your bicep, shoulders. And returning back to center. And then palm facing down. We're going to each side one more time. Nice deep inhale. Returning back to center. Last time, bring those fingertips back over. Nice deep inhale. So I always want you to do more than one, because in the beginning, I might have felt very, very tender, very tight. And the more you do it, the looser it is. You'll notice like my elbows got closer to the floor as my elbows did touch the floor towards the end. So you really want to let yourself relax into this. Now I want to do one more in this position. So I'm going to have you bring it into that feel-good pose again. You're going to bring your fingertips back. Now, pull your elbows down and then just stop right there. And now you'll feel a different stretch, a little higher up on the clavicle, higher up onto that delt. And just relax in there, pulling those elbows in towards your sides, pulling them down. And if any point it gets to be too much, bring it back up, take a nice deep inhale, then take your shoulder blades, squeeze and pull it down. Right here, take a nice deep inhale. Now, I really want you to focus on directing your inhale high up. Take your inhale all the way up to that first rib. Go ahead and give me two more nice deep inhales. And on that last nice deep inhale, think about pulling your elbows closer to your side, just a little bit more, whatever you can do. Nice deep inhale. Excellent, bringing your hands back to the center. Now, one of my favorite things is once you're done lying on this vertically, I want you to just roll off of it, lie on the floor, and just feel how your body just feels flattened out. It feels very, very enjoyable to just lie there for a moment and feel how your body is in a new space. So take as much time as you like here. So remember to do your side lying on the other side as well. Don't let one side be jealous of the other. And next week we'll do lower body foam rolling. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day.